Chapter 2, Section 1, Personality. Describing personality. Think about how people behave at a party. One person may be the life of the party. Another person may sit quietly on the couch. Did you ever wonder why people act so differently in the same situation? It is because each person has a unique personality. Your personality consists of the behaviors, attitudes, feelings, and ways of thinking that make you an individual. For example, when you are introduced to new people, you may be characteristically outgoing or you may be shy. Being outgoing or shy are examples of personality traits. So are being reliable, organized, and forgiving. A psychologist studies how people think, feel, and behave. Psychologists have described hundreds of personality traits. Many researchers use 5 central traits to describe how people behave, relate to others, and react to change. These traits are extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, emotional stability, and openness to experiences. Extroversion. This trait describes how much you like being with other people. The labels extrovert and introvert are often used to describe the extremes of this personality trait. An extrovert tends to be outgoing, talkative, and sociable. An introvert tends to be shy, quiet, and reserved. Extroverts tend to seek out other people. Introverts are more comfortable spending time on their own. Agreeableness. This trait describes your tendency to relate to other people in a friendly way. People who are agreeable tend to cooperate with others. They are usually forgiving and good-natured. They assume that other people are honest and trustworthy. People who are disagreeable tend to be suspicious or hostile. They assume that other people are unreliable or ready to take advantage of them. Conscientiousness. This trait describes how responsible and self-disciplined you are. Conscientious people tend to be dependable and make good decisions. They approach tasks in an organized, deliberate, and thorough manner. On the other end of the scale are people who do not think through decisions, are careless, and easily distracted. They may give up on a task or lose interest in a task before the task is complete. Emotional stability. People who are emotionally stable tend to be relaxed, secure, and calm, even during difficult situations. They tend to focus on the positive side of things. On the other end of the scale are people who are fearful, worried, and angry. They tend to focus on the negative and to expect the worst in most situations. Openness to experiences. People who are open to new experiences tend to be curious, imaginative, and creative. They are likely to have a wide range of interests and may be less predictable. People who are less open tend to be more predictable and less independent. They are likely to do what everyone else is doing. How personality forms. Which has the greater influence on personality, nature or nurture? Nature refers to the traits you are born with, ones you inherit from your parents. Nurture refers to the environment you are raised in and the experiences you have during your life. Personality traits are influenced by a combination of heredity and environment. Heredity. Why are some infants calm and cheerful while others tend to cry a lot? Why do some babies seem uncomfortable in new surroundings while others seem to thrive? These early differences are evidence that infants are born with distinct tendencies to act in certain ways. In fact, some differences are evident before birth. For example, some babies kick and move around a lot inside their mothers, while others are relatively quiet. There is evidence that traits such as cheerfulness and shyness are inherited. There is also evidence that talents such as musical and artistic abilities can be inherited. One way that researchers study how heredity influences personality is by studying identical twins. Identical twins come from a single fertilized egg. Thus, they inherit the same traits. The identical twins in Figure 2 were separated as infants and raised by different families. When they met as adults, they were surprised to discover how many behaviors and interests they shared. Identical twins who are raised separately often have similar careers and hobbies. They even like the same type of clothing and food. Environment. Just because you inherit your certain tendencies doesn't mean that your personality is set for life when you're born. Heredity is only half the picture. Environment plays an equally important role. Your family, your friends, and your cultural group are important parts of your environment. They all have an influence on your personality. Family. Experiences you have had as a child help to shape your personality. Children learn about feelings, attitudes, and appropriate ways to behave from their families. As children develop, they copy the behaviors of others. This is called modeling. For example, a child may learn to be respectful to older adults by observing parents' behaviors toward grandparents. Children also learn by being rewarded for desirable behaviors and punished for less desirable ones. Friends. Starting in childhood and throughout teenage years, friends become an increasingly important influence on personality. Teenagers in the United States spend more than half of their time with other teens. These friends, who are about the same age and share similar interests, are called a peer group. If your peer group models healthy behaviors such as cooperation, the group can have a positive influence on your personality. Culture. Personality traits that are valued in one culture may not be as highly valued in another culture. Some cultures encourage people to be independent, while others put a higher value on fitting in with the group. In some cultures, it is normal to show your feelings in public. In other cultures, people are expected to be more reserved. When people from different cultures meet, such differences can lead to misunderstandings. Stages of personality development. By age 20, your central personality traits will be well established. However, this does not mean that you will not continue to change. According to the psychologist Erik Erikson, personality develops throughout life as people meet a series of challenges. Erikson divided life into 8 stages shown in Figure 4. Each stage presents a different challenge to work on. When you successfully accomplish the challenge in one stage, you are better prepared to meet the challenge of the next stage. Develop trust. An infant depends on other people to meet its needs for food, a clean diaper, and affection. If these needs are met, the child learns to trust other people. If these needs are not met, the child learns to mistrust and may withdraw from others. Stage 2. Learn to be independent. This stage is when young children learn to do things on their own. They start to gain control over their own bodies. They learn to walk and use the toilet. If children fail to master these tasks, they develop self-doubt. If their efforts are ridiculed, they may feel ashamed. Stage 3. Take initiative. During this stage, children start to plan their own activities. Through imitating others and through fantasy play, they begin to develop a sense of right and wrong. If children are harshly scolded for poor initiatives, they may feel unworthy, guilty, or resentful. Stage 4. Develop skills. Children learn skills they will need as adults. They learn how to help around the home, how to succeed at school, and how to get along with others. These skills make children feel competent, capable of achieving their goals. Without skills, a child may feel like a failure. Stage 5. Search for identity. According to Erikson, as a teenager, your main challenge is to search for identity, or a sense of self. You begin to question who you are and what you want to do with your life. This search leads some teens to try new experiences, and to behave in ways that differ from family teachings. Other teens focus on shaping their identities to go along with the standards set by their family or culture. Stage 6. Establish intimacy. As a young adult, your challenge will be to establish close bonds with others. If you learn to make commitments to other people, you will have their support as you face other challenges. Stage 7. Create and nurture. During middle adulthood, people need to stay productive and creative in all parts of their life. During this stage, adults get satisfaction from helping younger people to learn and grow. Stage 8. Stage 8. Look back with acceptance. During older adulthood, people reflect on their lives. Some accept the choices they made, while others may regret the opportunities they missed. That is Chapter 2, Section 1.